Title: The Broken Hearts of Love and Fame. It was a cold night in early December, the kind of evening where even the brightest lights of New York City couldn't chase away the shadows of longing that crept through the streets. Travis Kelce, star tight end of the Kansas City Chiefs, sat in a plush, dimly lit restaurant, sipping on a glass of water. His mind wasn't on the game, the fans, or even the sports pundits who would talk about him endlessly. His mind was elsewhere, on her. Taylor Swift, the global icon whose every move was scrutinized by the world, had just revealed something on her latest album. It wasn't the usual love story or breakup ballad the world had grown accustomed to. This time, it was personal. In the lyrics of her newest single, Shattered Stars, she dropped a bombshell. She had once loved someone deeply, someone she never publicly named, but the love had crumbled under the weight of fame. The person she had loved had been Travis Kelce. The world had gone wild when the rumors of their romance had first surfaced. But this revelation, the raw, emotional song, was a dagger through the heart of everything Travis thought he knew about their relationship. As the night stretched on, the weight of it all felt heavier. He had always known that their connection was different from anything he'd experienced before. Taylor had brought something into his life that he hadn't even realized was missing, a sense of peace and joy. But he was also painfully aware of the pressures that came with being in a relationship under the constant glare of the media. The eyes, the whispers, the expectations. And now, the tears. Travis was no stranger to pressure. But this felt different. "Is everything okay, Travis?" his manager asked, sitting across from him, his eyes filled with concern. Travis didn't answer at first. He stared down at his hands, gripping the water glass until his knuckles went white. The tears came before he could stop them. Silent at first, then turning into racking sobs. He had always prided himself on being strong, on being the guy who could take a hit and get back up. But this felt like a hit he couldn't recover from. Taylor had been everything to him. Not just a superstar, but a woman who had changed his world in ways he couldn't explain. But she had kept this part of herself hidden, their love buried beneath layers of public scrutiny. She had loved him, but she couldn't love him the way he wanted, the way he needed, without giving up who she was. And now, she had said goodbye, without saying goodbye. "Why didn't she tell me?" Travis whispered, his voice cracked with emotion. "Why didn't she trust me enough to let me be there for her? I would have fought for us, for her." His manager shifted in his seat, unsure of how to console a man who was so publicly strong but so deeply broken behind closed doors. The restaurant felt emptier now, the city outside colder. "I thought we had something real," Travis continued, wiping at his eyes. "But maybe it was just a fairy tale. Maybe it was just a fleeting moment for her, something to pass the time. But for me, it was everything." Outside the restaurant, the first snowflakes of the season began to fall, blanketing the city in a soft, quiet stillness. It was as though the world itself understood the weight of Travis's heartbreak. He had never felt so alone, despite being surrounded by millions of fans in a world full of distractions. In the silence of the night, his phone buzzed. A new message from Taylor. He opened it, heart pounding in his chest. "I'm sorry, you deserve better than me, Travis. I never wanted to hurt you. I hope you understand that." Her words were a dagger. She had made her choice, and no matter how much he wanted to fight for her, he knew he couldn't change her heart. She had let him go, and now he had to let go too. Travis sat back in his seat, the tears still flowing freely, a feeling of emptiness growing within him. He had been part of something that had once felt like a dream. But now, it was just another memory. And as the night wore on, he realized that some fairy tales, no matter how beautiful, were never meant to last. Title: The Heartbreak of Kelce. Travis Kelce cries bitterly after Taylor Swift's revelation. The sun dipped low in the sky, casting a soft orange glow over the stadium where Travis Kelce had just finished a grueling practice. His muscles ached, and his mind was exhausted. But tonight, he felt an odd sense of anticipation. Taylor Swift had promised him something important, something that she had been holding back. He had tried to prepare himself, but nothing could have prepared him for what was coming next. It was the night of the annual charity gala, a high-profile event where Taylor Swift had agreed to attend with him by his side. Their relationship had been in the public eye for months now, and despite their best efforts to maintain a sense of normalcy, the pressures of fame had begun to weigh heavily on both of them. They had been through their share of rumors and speculation, but tonight, Taylor seemed unusually distant, her usually vibrant energy replaced with a quiet, almost contemplative demeanor. As the event progressed, Taylor's eyes were fixed on the crowd, her smile polite but restrained. Travis noticed this immediately. He tried to lighten the mood, making playful comments and cracking jokes, but she only responded with forced laughter. Something was off. Finally, as the night grew late, Taylor led him to a quiet corner, away from the flashing cameras and the gossiping whispers. Her hands were trembling slightly as she held a glass of water, avoiding his gaze. "Travis, I need to tell you something," she began, her voice barely a whisper. "I've been struggling with this for a while, and I can't keep it from you any longer." Travis raised an eyebrow, his heart skipping a beat. "What is it, Tay?" She took a deep breath, her eyes meeting his for the first time that night. "I've been hiding something from you. It's not about you or me, it's about who I am. You've seen the spotlight, the fame, but I've never let you see the real side of me. The side I've kept hidden for years." Travis felt a knot tighten in his chest. His mind raced as he tried to figure out what she meant. Was she leaving him? Was there something about her past that he didn't know? Taylor paused, her gaze drifting down to the floor. "I've always been the one people look up to, the one they idolize. But there's a side of me that I've never been able to share, a side that scares me. And it's been eating away at me." Suddenly, Taylor stepped closer to him, her voice trembling with emotion. "I've been in therapy for years, Travis. Working on myself. I've had to confront parts of me that I thought were buried forever. And the truth is, I've been pushing everyone away because I don't know how to let myself be loved. I've been afraid of what that means for me, and for you." Travis felt a wave of emotion wash over him. His hands clenched into fists, his heart racing as he processed her words. For months, he had been trying to understand her, trying to build something real between them, but now, it all made sense. Taylor had been struggling in ways he couldn't imagine. Before he could respond, Taylor's eyes welled up with tears. "I'm sorry, Travis. I never wanted to hurt you. But I can't keep pretending like everything's okay when it's not." Travis felt a lump in his throat as he looked at her, his own eyes brimming with unshed tears. He wanted to comfort her, to tell her that everything would be fine, but the pain was too raw. He had never seen her like this, vulnerable, broken in a way he hadn't understood before. "I never wanted you to feel like you couldn't be yourself with me," he whispered, his voice barely audible. "But you don't have to carry this alone, Taylor. We can work through it together. I'm here, no matter what." But Taylor shook her head, the tears streaming down her face. "I don't know if I can be the person you need, Travis. I've always been running from myself, from the real me. And I'm scared that if I let you in fully, you'll leave me, too." Travis stepped closer to her, gently cupping her face in his hands. "I'm not going anywhere, Taylor. But you have to trust me, and you have to trust yourself. I want to be with you, not just the version of you that everyone sees. I want all of you." Title: Travis Kelce cries bitterly after Taylor Swift's revelation. It was a crisp autumn evening in Kansas City. The kind of night that made you want to cozy up with a warm drink and reflect on life. Travis Kelce, the towering star of the Kansas City Chiefs, was sitting alone in his lavish downtown apartment, staring out at the city lights. He had just come from a game, where he'd helped secure yet another win for his team. But tonight, the cheers and the bright lights of the field felt distant, hollow even. His phone buzzed, and it was a message from Taylor Swift, his girlfriend of several months. The text was brief, but the words it contained hit him like a freight train. Asterisk, "Travis, we need to talk. I've been keeping something from you, and it's time I told you the truth." Asterisk. The message seemed innocent enough, but the weight of it sent a chill down his spine. He quickly dialed her number, his fingers trembling slightly. The phone rang for what felt like an eternity before Taylor finally picked up. "Hey," she greeted softly, her voice quiet, as if she knew this conversation wouldn't be easy. "Taylor, what's going on? What's this about?" "You're scaring me," Travis said, trying to keep his voice steady, but it cracked at the end, betraying the fear he was feeling. There was a long pause on the other end before Taylor spoke again, her voice laced with emotion. "I don't want to hurt you, Travis. But I think you deserve to know the truth. I've been hiding something from you about my past, about my family." Travis swallowed hard, his chest tightening. "What do you mean? What's going on?" Taylor took a deep breath before continuing. "Before I met you, I was in a relationship that, well, it was complicated. My family didn't approve of the man I was with. And because of that, I made some choices that I regret now. I've been carrying the weight of those choices around for years, and it's been hard to be open with you because I didn't want to risk losing you." Travis closed his eyes, trying to make sense of what she was saying. His mind was racing. What could this possibly mean? Had she been hiding a dark secret all this time? Was there more to her past than he had ever imagined? I don't understand, Taylor. What do you mean? Are you talking about someone else? Your ex? Travis asked, his voice thick with confusion and hurt. Another long pause. Then, Taylor's voice cracked. Yes, Travis, I've been keeping a secret about my ex, someone who was in my life for a long time. Someone you might know. I never wanted you to find out, but the truth is, he's a part of my history that I can't erase. Travis felt his heart skip a beat. Who is this person? The words that followed would change everything. Taylor hesitated for a moment, then whispered, It's your brother. For a moment, time stood still. Travis's heart slammed in his chest. His mind went blank. His breath became shallow. My brother? He repeated, the disbelief in his voice impossible to hide. Travis, I'm so sorry. Before I met you, I was involved with your brother, Jason. It was a short relationship, but it meant a lot to me at the time. I never wanted you to know because I didn't want to hurt you, and I know it's complicated. Travis couldn't process the words. Jason, his own brother. His mind raced, images of family gatherings and playful banter with his sibling flooding his thoughts. Could this be true? How could she have hidden something like this for so long? He felt the tears start to sting his eyes, and before he could stop himself, they began to fall. He gripped the phone tighter, his body shaking. Why didn't you tell me, Taylor? Why keep this from me? He asked, his voice barely above a whisper, broken with emotion. I didn't want to lose you, Travis. I didn't want you to think differently of me. But I can't keep lying to you. I care about you so much, and I didn't want anything to come between us. Travis dropped his phone onto the coffee table, his hands shaking as he pressed them to his face, fighting the wave of sadness crashing over him. The world felt like it was spinning, and for the first time in a long time, he didn't know how to fix things. His mind was a mess of betrayal and confusion.